Hello there. Welcome to Mimosa Moments with Jazz and Gina. Hey, Gina.
Hey, lady, how
You
are
know
you?
what? I was telling Lena the other day that I'm going to start calling you Gigi.
You know what?
I think it's
That's what
cute
people have called me all
because
my
I know
life.
so many Ginas that when she talks to me and I'm like, who? And she's like, Gina. I was like, which one? And I said, you know what? Just when you talk to me about her, just call her Gigi. So I may not say that
Okay,
all the time, but just so you know, that's what I'm calling you behind your back,
that's what
which is
okay.
better
You
than
can
what
call me
most people
that
call me
behind my
behind my
back.
back.
Just don't call me a bitch.
Woo! Because if you do, you expect some bitch behavior.
Okay? Yes.
That's all I can tell you. Expect bitch behavior if that's what you call me. And
There you
speaking of
go.
which, bitch behavior. Now I know the last couple of podcasts we've been talking about relationships and cheating and what's acceptable and what's not. But I thought today it might be kind of cool to kind of talk about some personal stuff, right? More about being a
Mm,
woman and just all that entails, everything from having to deal with what is perceived as bitchy behavior, which really isn't. It's just me saying, listen, I'm very passionate about this and I'm a perfectionist. It is what it is. All
I
the way
agree.
to the opposite end of the spectrum about aging, because people don't talk about that.
Right?
Like I called my girlfriend the other day and I said, because she called me about 6, maybe even 8 months ago and said, girl, my nipples are hard all the time. I said, hey, that's a lot of information. I don't even know why you're telling me that.
TMI, TMI.
But when I tell you 8 months later, my nipples were hard all the time, I got it.
Now you want to share, huh?
I want to share. I want to talk about it. And, I began to think about, I heard Tracy Ellis Ross do an interview the other day, and she was talking about how she's perimenopausal. And I was like, it's so funny how out of all the friends I have, we've talked about everything. We've talked about um, men, we've talked about jobs. Hell, we've talked about, bacterial infections. We've
Yes,
talked about yeast infections, but
but we
nobody's
have
talked about
not
menopause.
covered menopause.
What's up with
We don't talk
that?
about it. I don't know. I think women are afraid to talk about it. It's that uncomfortable conversation, but we
Yeah,
have to talk about it.
we do.
And let me just tell you, as a woman who is in the middle of menopause, it sucks.
Let me tell you
It
something. I believe
sucks.
you. I believe you. And I think I'm gonna need a little bit of my mimosa to handle it. Okay. But let me be full disclosure because you and I are like besties. So you got the mimosa. I ran out of my champagne. So I had to take some rose and put a little tonic in it. And I call it a what did I call it, Lena? A, t- a rose tonic.
Girl, we really are besties because I ran out of mine too.
Well, the great thing is we can still cheer to our mimosa moments before we get deep into this conversation.
There we can. Yes.
So I feel like one of the reasons that women don't talk about menopause or being perimenopausal is I think it gives the perception that we are now getting old. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a negative
There's a stigma to
connotation.
it. There's a stigma.
There is. It's almost like, okay, you have no goodness left because you're going through
Right.
menopause.
Right.
Now,
Now that's not true. That's not true. And you still are sexually active. Let me
now see,
say
that's
that.
what I was about to say because I
Yeah.
think I'm perimenopausal. I'm not in menopause yet, I don't think. But my biggest fear is, I don't want to, lose my sexual mum.
Yeah, the money still works. It works.
It still works.
It still works. Trust
Okay.
me.
You ain't got to crank it up to get started. It just
Believe
works.
I don't have to crank mine up. I can tell you what
Like, I
mine
don't
does.
need a crank.
Okay, I don't need a crank. And I have not had the vaginal dryness. I
Mm.
hear women talking about it,
Yeah, I have to.
but I haven't experienced that. And I'm so grateful. I have not
Yeah,
experienced
now
it.
one of my girlfriends who is full menopausal, she said she is as dry as the Sahara Desert. She said she had to go to her OBGYN and say, listen, you got to give me something to loosen this thing up.
No, I have not. And to be honest, Jazz, I didn't even know I was in gone through menopause. Let me say this. I was starting to have hot flashes. That's how I knew. I was like, gosh, I'm getting hot, cold. So I went to my OBGYN and she said, you are full blown. You've gone through menopause.
Wow.
And I said, what? I had my last cycle in February of this year. And when I went in March, I experienced my first hot flash in March. And I was like, oh, wait a minute now. Me and Satan not fixing to run together because it's hot. And I said, get your life right, Gina.
You know?
So I didn't have the horrible experiences that most women talk about, but the hot flashes are the damn devil. And I'm telling
Listen,
you,
one
it's
of
the
my
worst.
girlfriends won't leave the house without a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will be at dinner and she'll break out a full on, like what the battery operated kind. Zzz, and she'll just, I'm like, what is happening? She's like, girl, I'm having a hot flash. Now,
It
I
is
haven't had that yet, but I started having irregular periods. My mood
okay.
swings were crazy. I was experiencing weight gain, which, you know, for me was out of the ordinary. Not to say that I can't gain weight, because Lord knows I love a good donut and a whole bag of chips, but I've always been blessed enough to keep it off. But
Right.
I started experiencing weight gain. I had to go to the doctor. I was like, listen, what the hell is going on? And it wasn't even my OBGYN, because I never thought about that. And I guess it was because I think we all, to a certain extent, have that forever young kind of mentality. Like, it's never going to happen to me. I'm not my granny. Like,
Right.
you know, I'm not my
we look
great
good.
grandmother.
We look good.
Yes.
We
And
look
for
good
the
on the
most part,
outside.
right.
Yes.
And for the most part, feel good, right? So
There
I
you go.
never stopped to even consider it could be menopause. I was like, that's not me. It's got to be something else. It's got to be my diet. I might be diabetic now. I may have, I don't know, maybe I have a fatty liver. It's got to be something other than that. So I go to my primary and he was like, well, you're probably perimenopausal. I was like, the devil? Who you talking to like that? Don't use
Yeah.
that kind of speech in my presence. But sure
I-
enough, I went, got my hormones checked, and they were just lower than usual. And she was like, you know, you're perimenopausal. And I was like, what? And she was like, you need to start thinking about, you know, HRT. Do you want to do hormone replacement? Do you want to? And I was like, okay, wait. You moving too
too
fast.
much.
You
Yes.
moving too fast. Slow
Yes.
down. And I don't know why none of my girlfriends over brunch, over waffles, hell, over fried chicken. We've never talked about that.
That's why we're talking about it on Mimosa Moments, because women need to know.
They
what
need to know.
are they going to experience?
And they need to know it doesn't make you less than, because even though I'm not there yet, I have been preparing myself mentally that, you know, I'm still going to be the same Jasmine. I'm still going to be, hopefully, as sexually active. Well, wait a minute. Let me just be clear. I don't want to be as sexually active as I am right now, because that is not existent. What I want to be is sexually active.
Okay.
I want to see if I'm dry or not.
Well, here's what I want to know. Okay. I'm married. I'm tired of being sexually active.
You're tired of being sexually active?
Girl, I'm tired. I'm going to be honest. I really am tired.
What
I was
part?
thinking
What
menopause was
part?
gonna
What
be my
part?
excuse to say I can't do it anymore.
What part? Is it because you're just like, oh, I'm tired? Because you got a lot going on professionally, right? So is it because you lack the energy, or you just like, I'm just not into it? Like, I don't want to be,
No,
I don't
like
want you
when,
all up under me. I don't want you in me. I don't want no parts of it. Like, what part?
girl, I've been doing it for 30 some odd years. I'm ready to retire. At
Well,
least for like maybe if I got 2
I
months
never
off.
heard of retired pussy, but I guess it exists.
Yeah.
She
It
said, I want to
does.
put my cat up on the shelf.
I wanted to just go sit down for a little bit in the corner and just rest.
What?
My monkey is tired.
Well, I guess so. 30 years. But
30
now I'm
some
going to be
years,
honest with
and I had
you.
a very sexually active husband who he would honestly, and I have to, he would like to have sex 3 to 4 times a week. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have that. It's
Does he
not
have
in
any
me
brothers? Where his daddy at? Stop it, Jasmine.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I don't know. That's
I
so
just lost
weird.
you. Okay, we lost one another.
Oh, we came right back. And the great
Do
thing
y'all
is we
know
can
we
pick it
just
up in
lost one
post.
another? Okay, great.
So I
Yeah, so
that's so weird, because now here's what I've heard, and I'm headed in that direction, so I will experience it whether I want to or not. I heard as women age, our sexual appetite ramps up. And men, because they've been fucking since they were 12, right? Theirs goes down. But you're saying your husband is going up and you're going down. Well, wait a minute. That might make for a
We're
good Saturday
opposite.
night, but
Well,
that's not what we're talking about.
he's always been up and I've been down. We've always been unbalanced. He's always had an issue. He's always been more sexually active than I have. But
Now, is that a conversation that you have prior to marriage, or do you just go into it and just hope for the best? I've always wondered that. Do you have those kind of conversations of, listen, I'm not going to be, in the V position every day, all day. That ain't getting right. Like, do you talk about that?
now we did, because I knew what I was marrying. He knew what he was, I knew who he was. He knew who I was, and we knew we were getting married. So we had to talk about it. And I was like, okay, I can do this up until this age, but after that, now I'm going to do it once a week, and that's it now.
That's
I ain't
it.
doing it no more.
So get it all in, literally and figuratively. Get it all in right now.
Get it all in. Yeah,
Because
so
there will be no more room at the end.
yeah, no monkey after that. So we have great conversations about it. But, when I was going through premenopausal, now I will say this, I had anxiety, and I didn't know what it was from. I don't know if your hormones were off. I had anxiety. I was cranky, and it was anxiety. So I wasn't able to. That was probably about a month or two that I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not into
Now,
it.
see, that would be confusing for me, because I naturally, well, not naturally, I'm not going to claim that. I experience anxiety already, and I have for years. And I know it's because I am an alpha. I am a type A personality. I'm a Scorpio. I am all those things. And I like to control everything. I would try to control the sun if I could. But God said, listen, sit your ass down in the corner somewhere and be quiet. And thank you. I'm listening. But when I get into situations that I can't control, I tend to have panic attacks because I want to control it so bad. And I feel like if it's out of my control, we're not going to make it. And I'm responsible for everyone. And so it causes anxiety. And so my doctor did say that would be one of the things that I would experience. And I was like, baby, I already done that. So if that's what I'm looking for, I'm in trouble, because I'll never see it coming.
Well, I didn't, I hadn't experienced anxiety, and I am A-type. You know that. I like to control things, and I couldn't control anything. It was out of my control. Things that were happening, I was like, oh my God. I did learn to let go and let God, because I'm like, girl, you about to kill your damn
Well, the
self.
one thing you were controlling was no Monkey Mondays. I know that.
I wasn't doing that. So it was hard, but I'm past it now. These are things we have to talk about. Women need to be open about it and laugh about it. That's why we're here. We want to laugh about it.
I think we don't give ourselves enough gentleness and grace when it comes to aging, because I think when you become a woman of a certain age, like we are, not meaning that we're old, just meaning after you've lived, you've gone through some shit, I think. And like I said, I was listening to Tracy Ellis Ross, and she was saying how she had always looked forward to getting older. And I'm not going to say, I can't go as far as to say that, but I do feel as though I don't want to get to a certain age that I feel like I have no value, and that I have to try to keep up with these girls who are 25. And, now I'm still going to dye these curly tresses. I'm going to do that now for a little bit. But I think there will come a time when,
wigs and,
listen, if I could, I think let me tell you something. If you could see my room, I have so many wigs in here, and I think I may have worn one. I'm obsessed with wigs, but I am terrified to wear them. I'm terrified, but I'm obsessed. Lena, throw me one of those wigs. Throw me that blonde wig up there. Let me show you what
as you go through menopause, the hair sheds and things happen with the hair follicles.
What?
So, yeah. So what is the fear of the wig?
Look here. Let me show you something.
Let me see.
Look at Vanessa.
Oh, girl.
Say, hey, this is Vanessa. Now, I put Vanessa on Saturday nights and dance around the house by myself. Okay, see what I'm talking about? You see what you're working with over here?
Going out. We're going out
But
for
I'm
it.
terrified to actually put it on and go outside. I don't know why. I think part of it is because I'm obsessed with wigs, and most people would never know that about me. I'm obsessed.
No.
I love them. I love the way they look on the mannequin. But baby, when I put them on my head, I feel like a fool. I just want to. I'm like, this ain't the truth.
Well,
I
maybe
gotta.
are you putting it on correctly?
Probably not. No, probably not.
Okay.
Because, well,
Okay.
half the time I don't know what to do with all of this. And I don't have a good girlfriend who can come over and braid it back and, help me get this thing on straight. I've put wigs on backwards before. Like, I just don't know what I'm doing.
No, don't you go out in your wig until you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't
That's
let
why
you
I
do that.
sit at home on Saturdays. Me, Vanessa, and Rosita.
Well, I love my wigs. You'll probably every now and then you'll see me in my natural hair, but no, I don't do it anymore. It's too
Yeah.
much. It's too
It
much
is. It's a
maintenance.
lot. It's a
And
lot.
my hair is very, very thick. And the reason I wear the wigs was for me for protection as I was going through menopause. I wanted to
Mm.
protect my hair. I didn't want to lose my hair, and so it has been a great protection
Wow.
for me.
Well, see that's what I mean. I don't think we as women give ourselves. I'm petting Vanessa, by the way. I don't think we give ourselves the room to um to just age gracefully and kind of
I agree.
lean into it. Because I think hearing that and knowing what I'm going through already, all that shit is already hard and it can just wreak havoc on your emotional state, on your mental state, and certainly we're already talking about from a physical perspective. I don't want to put any more weight on me than I have to.
I agree. I agree. And you know what? That's the vain side of me that says, I need to keep my hair and my locks or who I am. And it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
So I would say to any woman, don't put that pressure on yourself. Just be you. We should age gracefully. We should
Yes,
love ourselves from the inside out and
I
celebrate
totally agree.
celebrate who you are. Celebrate that brilliance. Honey, we are beautiful inside and out and just celebrate all of
And not only that, hell, we made it this far.
it. Amen.
We made it this
How
far, and there
about
were some
that?
people who didn't. Let me tell you something. Exactly. And that's why I
Period.
said, I want to have more conversations with my girlfriends about stuff like that so that selfishly, I admit it, I don't feel like I'm out here by myself, right? Like I'm nervous about having hot flashes. I'm like, so what does it feel like? Am I going to feel like I'm on fire? And
You
I don't
will.
want I don't want
Honestly,
my
you
vajayjay to
will.
dry up. Like it's already underactive as it is at the moment. But I'm in the market. I'm on the market. I'm on the hunt. Me and Veronica, baby. Or is this Vanessa? Who is this? Whoever this
That's
is.
Vanessa. That's Vanessa. It's whoever you want it
That's
to be.
right. We
Whoever you want
looking,
her to be. Yes.
looking, lapping, and lurching. But I
Yes.
do think it's important that we have these types of conversations so we don't feel, less than, or that we don't feel like, somehow our womanhood is now lost and nobody's going to want us and we're no longer attractive. Mm-mm.
No, because we are, and like you said, it takes more than being a woman is a lot of things. We're made up of a lot of things, so it's not just about being sexually active. It's not about growing old. We can grow old gracefully. We can laugh
Yes.
about it. Here's something else you're going to experience during menopause. When we laugh a little bit and we had a little leak. Ooh, excuse me,
Yeah.
I had a little
Now
tinkle. I
listen.
had a little tinkle.
Here's the thing.
Laugh
Now,
too hard, you're gonna have
according
a little
to
tinkle.
the blood work, I'm not there yet in terms of being in menopause, but I can tell you this. If you make me laugh too hard, I'm going to pee just a little. I'm going to have to go to the
I
restroom
am
and,
too.
and clean it up.
Yeah. Or better yet, let me just go and tell y'all, go to that aisle that your grandmother and them used to go to, and there's some little the little what are the inner linings?
Oh,
You're gonna
yeah,
have to
yeah, yeah. Like the little
yeah,
panty
inner
liners.
linings. Yeah, so when you have a little squirt, you go,
Yeah,
oh
yeah. You don't have
yeah,
to feel like you got to leave the room. You're
yeah, you
safe.
gotta leave
You're
the
in
room
good
because
hands. Now you know what? Now I
you
I
peeing
used
in
to
your
do
pants.
though. Now I was doing Kegels for a little bit. I got tired of doing that. Like squeeze and let go, and squeeze and let
Keep
go.
it up,
I'm like, okay,
keep
I
it
I
up.
I don't want to do that. I do pelvic floor exercises in the gym. but I still pee a little bit if you make me giggle. It's like the Pillsbury Doughboy. You dick,
No, you
yeah,
want giggles. You want to continue to do that because when you get sexually active now, you're gonna need to squeeze that a little bit too, and
Oh, let me
squeeze
tell
it a
you
little bit
something. I
more.
haven't been sexually active in so long. I might squeeze so hard, somebody might lose something. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
telling you. I'm just telling you, I will keep that up. But I'm glad that we're having this kind of conversation. Like I said, I had thought about, I went to physical therapy because I tore my meniscus about 2, 3 months back. Um, Somebody spilled a drink in a restaurant and I
no.
slipped on it and didn't
Are
even
you
know,
serious?
not even
Are
kidding.
you
And
serious?
I'm serious. And was too, I don't even know. I don't want to say I was too crazy, but I didn't take pictures. I didn't do anything that could have helped me with a little lawsuit. I just
Yeah.
got up and went outside. I was like, I fell. I said, but it actually hurt a little bit. And I'd never hurt myself. I've never broken a bone. I've never done anything like that. It was sore, but I went on to the concert because we were going to see New Edition and me and Bobby Brown had a date. Anyway,
Oh, all right now.
so the next day I worked out. The next day I golfed 18 holes. The next day I went to work out and my knee said no. And so it turns out I had a torn meniscus. Well, I've been going through physical therapy. And while at physical therapy the other day, my therapist asked me, she said, so I noticed you don't have any gray hair. And I was like, I have a good colorist. And she said, I've been thinking about letting my hair go gray. And I've been taking a poll to see what people thought about it. And I said,
Okay.
listen, I've seen dozens, if not hundreds, of people on social media who've let their hair go gray and it looks gorgeous. There's a
Yes.
girl that I follow. She has curly hair and she let it all go gray and it was just beautiful. I've seen one girl whose
Beautiful.
crown was gray and the back was black and it was gorgeous. So
Mm.
me, loving Vanessa, I also had a Gloria who was gray.
Oh, let me see Gloria.
Well, I had to throw Gloria away because I thought she was disrespectful.
Okay. I'm glad.
In other
I
words,
don't,
Gloria
I don't
didn't
think
Gl-
Gloria would
Gloria
look
didn't
good.
look good on me. She didn't look
I
good
don't
on
think
me.
I don't think Gloria works for you, friend.
Didn't look good on me at all. And I think Gigi, it didn't help that I got a pixie in gray. I shouldn't have done the
Oh,
pixie. I probably should have done like a longer, more voluptuous kind of wig
yeah,
in gray to
yeah,
see, because you can't go from this to like a pixie and then gray. It was too much
no,
change.
yeah.
So I threw her in the dumpster.
Sojourner Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Harriet Tubman.
Like
I
Harriet
could have freed
Tubman.
1,000 more. But now, if you, when you do, like say, okay, well, I'm gonna go natural for a little bit. Would you go all gray? Would you be willing to
Oh
do that?
no, never. I would
Yeah.
look just like my mom, and I already look just like my mom. But no, that means my husband would be sleeping with my mom, and no, that's
Now,
not going
that's legal in a couple of states.
to happen. Well, not over here.
You're like, not in my house.
I don't look good with two things. I don't look good with short hair. I thought I did years and years ago.
Yeah.
I cut my hair in a pixie. Ooh, I thought it was so cute and fine. Oh my gosh, my kids said, "Child, that aged you." I don't look good
Now,
with short hair, and I don't look good with gray hair. So no,
Now, I cut
not
all of my hair off about 2 years ago because I got braids and no one explained, because I'd never had braids ever in my life, except for when I was a kid, right? But not braids with extension. So I didn't know, and nobody told me, that when you take them out, you have to condition your hair first and detangle it, then wash.
yes,
I didn't know
yes,
that. So I hopped in the
yes.
shower immediately and all of my hair matted up. So I had to get buzzed on the sides. I had all of this super short. And I was terrified that I was going to look like a dude. And I
Oh.
did. Nobody wanted to tell me that. But in looking at the pictures, the first day when the stylist did it, it was gorgeous. The
I
next
agree.
day, I looked like Pat. That means I don't
Mm-mm.
know if this was a girl or a boy. I was like,
Boy,
yeah, I can't wait for my hair to grow back. And I'm so glad it did. It's still growing.
I don't look good with short hair, and I don't like to admit that, but it's just not for me. But it
Let
is
me
for
ask you
some,
something. You said
but
something
not.
a few minutes ago. You said that you didn't want to look like your mom. but you look like your mom, right? That's what
I
you
look
said.
exactly like
Does
my
it
mom.
does it does it make you feel a certain kind of way to look like your mom?
I love looking like. I mean, my mother's gorgeous.
Mm,
I
I could
love.
tell because you're gorgeous. So if you look like your mom, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so are you. I guess it's like we are identical. You can't tell us apart. And part of it is how I'm like, okay, am I going to age with the gray hair like my mom? Now that I
Right.
don't want to do. My mom and Moses are kicking it together. I mean, they are just
Your
like,
mom and Moses at the bar.
yeah. And you
Damn.
can't tell the difference between my mom and Moses. If they were sitting right there, you can walk up to her and say, hey, Moses.
Let my people go.
So, okay, I'm so
Hilarious.
glad you talked about my mama like that.
She gonna get you. I'm just gonna tell you, she
She
gonna get you.
but she's a beautiful woman. She aged, the way she wanted to age. This is not the way I want to age.
I ask that because the one thing that I have been battling, especially in the past, I'm gonna say year, probably a little longer, but I feel that it's getting heavier and heavier each month that passes. And that is, I was adopted. I met my biological mother maybe a year and a half before she died, something like that.
Hmm.
And I spent years before I met her wanting to meet her and wanting to see, do I look like her? Do I look like my father? Like, I just want to see a face that looks like mine. Well,
Okay,
now, unfortunately, she's passed away. She gone on to glory. Her and Moses up there doing something. I don't know. But I
my mom will
now
be with me pretty soon. But go ahead.
I'm not happy that when I look in the mirror, I see her. I look more and more like my mother and my grandmother every day. And it bothers me so much that sometimes I don't even want to look in the mirror.
Really?
Yeah, it really
Is
does. And I've never
that
said that out loud. I've never said that out loud. But because,
okay?
you and I
I
are
was going to ask you,
besties.
is it because there's some unresolved issue? Is it? I don't know. What do you think
It
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 is?
could be. It could be that it could very well be that. It could be something that I need therapy on because I mean I hate it. Like I will catch a glimpse of myself and I will be so irritated that I will not look in the mirror for the rest of the day.
Well, let
And
me say this. This is what we can say during this mimosa moment. We're gonna thank your mom for the beautiful woman that she created along with your dad, because honey, you are just all that.
me
So
and
every time
Vanessa.
you look in that mirror, honey, you and all your wigs, you just tell yourself, I am way too cute for this.
Mm, I'll remember that.
You just look in that mirror and say, oh, you know what? Thank you,
I
mom,
am
because you
fabulous.
create a beautiful woman. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it's easy for me to say that now, and I promise I'm gonna try to remember your words when I'm when I'm looking in the mirror in one of those moments, and I'm like, oh my God, I look like Patricia. I look just like her and my grandma. But I do believe that there are definitely some unresolved issues there. And luckily, I have a good friend like you, a good sister that can help me kind of work through those things. Us and a few mimosas.
There you go. And you know what, Jess? Honestly, it's how I learned to love the woman that I am, because when you asked me that initially and after you explained, I didn't like the way I looked because I didn't think my mom was pretty. Young when I was young, I didn't. My sister, everyone said she was so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And they would say, oh, you look like your mom. That's what I would hear when I was a little kid. Like, oh my gosh, your sister's so beautiful. And they say, you look like your mom. I was like, well, damn, what do I look
Oh.
like? Looking like Bertha, you know? But now, see, I told you.
You done told it now. Let me tell you something, Jen. You have to go home. I'm gonna have to let you go because you got a lot of praying to do. Your mama gonna get you. And I'm
Yeah,
talking
she
about
is.
praying not for forgiveness, because I know your mama loves you. I'm talking about praying for strength, for strong legs. Cause I got a feeling she gonna chase you all up and around Texas, baby. You in trouble.
With that switch.
You gonna need
With,
Moses now. Swing
you know,
low, sweet chariot. I'm just saying. Girl, I love talking to you. I love our
I
mimosa
love
moments.
talking to you
And
too. I
I love
love
that.
it.
And you know what? While we're doing mimosa moments, I'm so glad and appreciative of what you said. I want to raise a glass to just being a woman, to aging gracefully, leaning into it, and learning to love every part of the journey as we get older, even when
Yes.
you pee a little bit.
Yes. Which I might do here in a minute.
Oh my God. Love you,
So I'm
girl.
gonna drink this mimosa, and I might be
Here's our
peeing in a minute.
mimosa moment. That's right. Now, y'all get yourselves together and clean yourself up. If you giggle through this, we know you pee a little bit. It's all right.
Cheers.